everyone. Welcome back to the Not So Speechless podcast with Peach and I. Today we have Miss Robin Howard and Deondre. He is a basketball player in the Special Olympics program we have here at Vanderbilt. And that's how I met Dre. Dre is pretty awesome, but I don't want to speak too much for Dre. So pass things over to Miss Robin to talk about Dre and, their day-to-day and introduce who they are.
Robin Howard, I'm Deondre's mom. Been his mom for 24 years. Deondre's disability is they say hearing impaired or deaf. Because he's 24 years old. He did go to Vanderbilt. Next Step program, he was a 2-year student. And after he graduated, they had the 4-year students. Yeah, Deondre likes to work out, play sports. He works at Vanderbilt. Him and his brother have a place together. So they recently, moved out the house in the summer. And he's done pretty well with his, when he lost his hearing and everything, as far as wanting to seek out help for learning sign language and everything. And he's pretty brave, lose hearing and still want to, attend college and not just work, but to go to college and then get a job. So when he was in high school, they were like, oh, we can get you a job. But he said, no, I want to go to college. And that's when we heard about Next Steps. So, yeah.
Oh, wait, that is so cool. Oh, my gosh. I love to hear that. You said Dre immediately after high school, he had the option to go to work or go to college, and he wanted to go to college. Was Vanderbilt always on his radar?
Well, with, having a disability, it's hard to get into, the regular colleges. So senior year, they had like workshops and like little fairs. Me and his grandmother went to prepare, student with disability, what they can do. He was working at Kroger's in high school, but he wanted to go to college. And that's when he heard about Next Steps. Yeah, but he's always like, Vanderbilt and everything. And the school I went to Tennessee State University. I'm an alumni, but they didn't have a program for people with disabilities at Tennessee State. But when we heard about Vanderbilt, yeah, he was excited about it. And he pretty much claimed it because he played baseball at Hillsborough, and they had a senior night, and they were asking the seniors, what are your plans after high school? And so, he wrote his out, and before he was even accepted, he said, I'm going to Vanderbilt. And then he got accepted. Yeah. So he liked it.
That is so cool. I only asked because we are definitely lovers of the Next Steps program, Peach's alumni, but we know that there aren't too many programs like these. So that's so cool that he got to take advantage of Next Steps.
Was he in organizations like Best Buddies? I know you talked about Special Olympics.
He was in Best Buddies for the 2 years he was at Vanderbilt and 2 years after that. But it was a good experience. He had I think when he was at Vanderbilt, those were the 2 years that he had really good Best Buddies. They would, come on campus and, eat lunch with him, and because they were students, at Vanderbilt. His favorite part of Best Buddy was the prom. He liked the prom.
That was so much fun.
I liked the prom. Did you like it? You did? Okay. First he went like,
No, that's understandable. Quick question. I know you said that Dre lost his hearing. So it wasn't at birth. No. So when did Dre lose his hearing, and how did that happen?
Yeah, at what age specifically did he lose his hearing? What was your reaction? And did he have to go to therapy? Any type of therapy for that?
He did. He went to remember? I forgot how old he was exactly, but he was in elementary. And he had a hearing test, and we just noticed, he was losing his hearing. And then they found out he had a neurological problem with his ears. So he had a hearing aid, and he wore it through elementary. And then when he got to middle school, they said, well, you can get a cochlear. Cochlear, they go
implant.
in. Implant. Yeah. So he had that through middle school. And then when he got to high school, he was like, I don't know if I want to wear this anymore. So you need to wear it. It'll help you, But he said it didn't sound the same.
Okay.
Was that when the sign language came in?
Well, he had some sign language at the middle school and at the high school, but they were teaching him how to spell words.
Yeah.
But when he got to Vanderbilt, next step, he took speech class 1 and 2. That's when he really learned sign language at Vanderbilt.
That is so cool.
So, what are your thoughts on diversity and inclusion in the deaf community, and how should we advocate for the deaf community?
Oh, I think just make sure that, they are visible, and make sure that they're getting the right treatments, and, everybody wants equal, just they want to be equal. They want to be able to do the same, Some people don't have patience for deaf people, or disabilities, people with disabilities.
Right now that they're showing like deaf movies and in culture, I don't know if you've seen CODA. That's on Apple. That's deaf.
Yeah, what's it called again? So I can ask him.
CODA.
I think you seen it. Yeah, he knows it.
Yeah. I just wanted to add that into this podcast.
You watch it? Have you watched that show where they sign? They're in college. Yeah. You like it?
What?
You like the show?
What show?
I thought he did.
Maybe watch it.
You haven't? Okay. We'll have to watch it together.
Yeah. Is there anything that you could say is it really, really hard for Dre right now, or has been throughout his life?
Any barriers or any obstacles that you guys have faced because of his disability?
We haven't ran into too many problems. I know when he worked at Kroger's, I had to just explain to the manager his condition and everything, and they did adjust. And when they needed him to do something, they would, text it or write it down. Some people do know some sign language now, so that's good. But we did run into an issue when he was trying to get his driver's license. They were saying something, and she was like, well, he needs an interpreter so he can understand, conversation or whatnot. And they're just like, oh, no, we don't have one. Just like they didn't make no suggestions, call Bridges or we can call someone. It was just cut and dry, like, oh, no, we don't have interpreters. So then he ended up going to Lebanon to get his driver's license because,
that's a far distance.
Well, it was better. This lady, she's passed away now, that worked with him at Hillsborough. She came and interpreted for him when he did the written test. So that helped out a lot. But yeah, that's about the only time we've had a big issue. And that's been years ago. He's had his license for a while, but yeah, they weren't very patient, and my mom didn't care for their attitude. And we did call up there and talk to the supervisor.
Here's one thing you should know about Dre is he loves to work out and he loves eating healthy.
You like to work out? Okay, he's answering in the text.
Okay.
Oh, that is a really rough schedule. Oh my gosh.
If I was a teacher in the future, or if I was helping a deaf person, what's one piece of advice that you could give me?
I would say be patient. Also, a lot of deaf people read lips. Deondre, he can read lips. Make sure when you're talking to, pronounce, use your mouth. That helps too. If you don't know sign, write down what you're trying to say. And don't holler. Some people holler, can you hear me? It's like, no, don't do that.
Speaking of communication, our show pretty much revolves around the idea that communication doesn't always look the same. And I know you say, Dre, he watches, your lips. So what are certain cues, that Dre looks out for in terms of communication? And what are unique ways he'll communicate to you? Are there special ways that you guys communicate with each other?
For example, is it to tap on the shoulder, or is it like
his hand? He'll go click, or yeah. When you want my attention, you be when you try and get me to
paying attention.
Yeah, if I'm not paying attention, yeah. If I'm not paying attention, he'll go.
Peach, do you have a last question or final question?
After next steps, how's your life changed?
Okay, I'm gonna let him answer. Let me write it down. Can you answer that? How? Get a job? Huh? Jobs. Okay. He said helps him get a good job. Yeah, they had good internships, so that helped with getting a job. But he said they helped him with his career being the next steps. Yeah.
Did it help you get involved in more of the community inclusion type of perspective?
Yeah. I think he had a job coach a little bit at Vanderbilt. Yeah, that helped. He said next step help him learn about other people too. He made new friends.
Okay. And just to wrap things up, do you have any anxieties about Dre's future? And how has it changed from when he was younger to now? Have they gotten better? Have they gotten worse? Or
But when he was younger, I used to worry about how he was going to be, how it was going to be when he went to school, with the disability and everything. Luckily that the kids he grew up with in elementary went to the middle school with him, so they kind of looked out for him. But when he went to the high school, since he went to school out of zone, and he went to school out of zone because they had a better program for people with hearing impairment. I was kind of nervous because he didn't know nobody at the school, but he made friends and everything. But yeah, and his brother always looks out for him. His little brother looks out for him a lot.
What's the most proudest accomplishment of Dre?
Just like how he's matured. He did go to school and he didn't let his disability stop him from
Your
going to school.
disability can't define you on who you are because you're just
Right.
a being.
When he was at Steps, they were asking, what's your goals for the summer? And he had put down to get my driver's license, and he did it. He studied and studied and studied, and he got it. He has self-motivation, like, I can do this, I want to do this. And he knows that, education is real important in our family, and we all went to college, and he just followed in everybody's footsteps regardless. Y'all want to learn how to say something in sign language and he can tell you?
yeah,
I know how to say thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thank you both for coming on to our podcast. It was nice meeting everyone. Everyone have a great night.
Have a great day, and we'll upload this on Friday at 6 p.m.